What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce, and it's Tuesday. And what do we do on Tuesdays? Well, we do a little video that I like to call Comic Book Speculation Recommendations. That's right, guys, this is the video where I look off into the future at Final Order Cutoff and New Comic Book Day of next week. That's right, guys, we look off into the future, so this way you guys have enough time to put in your pre-orders for your Final Order Cutoff books, and to also reach out to your local LCS and say, hey, I was watching Bruce and Stephanie's Comics Comic Book Speculation Recommendations video. I like what he had to say. I did my own research, and I would like to pick up a couple extra copies of these books, so that way I can start and make this hobby fun itself. Just like each and every single week here on Comic Book Speculation Recommendations, I have two reminders for you, and the first one will always be to do your own research. Why is that? Well, on this video, I suggest some books to you guys that I think has good speculation behind it. But what is speculation? Well, speculation is basically educated guesses. So what I want you guys to do is take my educated guesses and go check other comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Gather the most information possible on the books that I talk about in today's video, so that way you can make the best decisions possible for yourself, because remember, you guys are spending your own hard-earned money on these books, not mine, so you guys want to make the best decisions for yourself. And the last reminder that I have for you guys is that sometimes there are delays with comic books. So that means a book will show up multiple times on FOC, or it could show up in New Comic Book Day listings multiple times because its release date gets pushed back. So if its release date gets pushed back, its FOC date gets pushed back. So that is the last reminder, is that sometimes there are delays with books, and I will speak about them multiple times in multiple videos. Alright guys, we are jumping into my Final Order Cutoff picks for October 31st for your DC books and November 1st for your Marvel and Indies. And guys, I cannot believe we're already talking about November! That's insane. Let's kick off my Final Order Cutoff list with my cover lover pick of the week. So I went through every single cover that was available on Final Order Cutoff, and this is the book that I chose. I went with Miles Morales Spider-Man number 33, the 1 in 25 variant. I think this cover is absolutely epic. Even in that shitty ass costume that Miles Morales is now wearing, this cover still reigns supreme among all the covers that are on FOC this week. So guys, what do you think? Is this cover worth picking up for $25? But if you pre-order it on FOC, you're gonna spend $50. But guys, let me know down in the comments below, would you spend $25 on this cover? Would you pre-order it for the steep cost of $50? Guys, let me know down in the comments. It is time to dive into every single book on FOC that had even the smallest, tiniest, littlest bit of spec. And at the end of this list, if any books are worthy of actually going in depth on why I think you guys might want to pick up extra copies, I will do that at the very end. All right, guys, let's not waste any more time and dive into this list. All right, guys, strap in, because I'm going to rapid fire this list at you. So the first book up is Task Force Z number 2. This is the first appearance of Sundowner. Next up is a book that's been delayed multiple times. This is Wonder Woman number 5, the first team appearance of a name I cannot pronounce. It is right here. You guys pronounce it for me. This is Wonder Girl's Lost Amazon Tribe. And this also has the possible first cameo appearance of Portia. Next up is Amazing Spider-Man number 81. This is Ben Reilly vs. Miles Morales. Next up is Defenders number 4, the first appearance of the Fourth Cosmos and the embodiment of good and evil. This is also the origin of the Marvel Universe. Alright guys, next up is Geiger 80-page giant number 1. This is an anthology of stories including a new character introduction and established character origins. Next up is Gunslinger Spawn number 2. This is Gunslinger Spawn vs. a cult of vampires. Next up is Miss Marvel Beyond Limit number 1. This is a 5-issue limited series that will explore the source of Miss Marvel's powers. Isn't she just an Inhuman? So why are they exploring that? Weird. Next up is Strange Academy number 14. This story takes place a decade into the future and the status of Strange Academy. I love this series. I love this book. Last but not least is Wastelanders Hawkeye number 1. This is the origin of Old Man Hawkeye, trained by Stick, aka Matt Murdock, in an alternate reality. Matt Murdock appeared as Stick in Old Man Hawkeye number 12. Alright guys, that is the list. There is one book that I think you guys might want to consider picking up a couple extra copies of, and that is Wonder Girl number 5. I spoke about this before on previous videos, and I'm speaking about it again now. And the reason is because I think Warner Brothers is going to produce a Yara Flor TV show in the future. And this book will have significance because this is the introduction of her Amazon tribe. And they will have to introduce her tribe in that TV show. I shouldn't say have to, but I do think they will. So this book will have significance in the future, but it is DC spec, so I would not dive in heavily on this book. I would just pick up a couple extra copies, 1 or 2, squirrel them away in your short box or long box, And yeah, wait for that book to pop, and then you guys flip them for some profit. Alright guys, it is time to jump into my new comic book day spec picks for November 3rd of 2021. Alright guys, we're going to kick off our new comic book day spec list with our cover lover pick of the week, and that is Superman 78 number 3, the B cardstock cover by Lee Weeks. But guys, there's also an exclusive virgin variant that you can get from Lee Weeks' website for $40. I think this cover is absolutely stunning, and it embodies what Christopher Reeve's Superman was. It's awesome. We got Lois Lane sitting on the roof of the Daily Planet and Superman just flying in front of her. It's gorgeous. It's awesome. You guys might want to consider picking up that virgin variant because it is pretty freaking cool. But also, if you can't, pick up that $4.99 cardstock cover because it is gorgeous. Before we jump into the 2 books that are on my new comic book day spec list, I do want to point out, guys, that you should have the Key Collector app, because that way you guys can go to the future keys section and you can look at all the books coming out in future weeks that have spec, or at least spec potential. And in next week's new comic book day list, there are 37 books in total. 21 new number 1s and 5 books that have first appearances, and I chose 2 from the 37 to talk to you guys about. All right, guys, let's not waste any more time and let's talk about those 2 books. Alright guys, let's dive into the 2 books that I selected for my new comic book day spec list, and the first one up is The Thing number 1. Ben Grimm is finally getting a new series, and I'm super excited about this. I actually love this cover for this book, but also there are 2 first appearances. This is the first appearance of Amaryllis. I believe that's how you pronounce that. This is described as the Thing's newfound love, and also the first appearance of Baress. 2 first appearances, The Thing, Ben Grimm. This book is gonna be awesome. At least I hope it is, because I love Ben Grimm. Alright guys, and the last book that I want to talk to you guys about today is Dark Knights of Steel number 1. This is a 12-issue Elseworld story with characters from the DC universe in a medieval setting, and also the introduction of the Kingdom of Storms. Guys, this is written by Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor does such an amazing job with storytelling when he can do Elseworlds tales. Let's think about Injustice. His run on Injustice is epic. Let's think about that story he did called Deceased. Everyone loved Deceased, and it was an Elseworld zombie tale. I cannot wait to get my hands on this Elseworld tales with our favorite DC characters in a medieval setting. I hope it's gonna be epic. I hope it's gonna be awesome. It's Tom Taylor, and it's gonna be great. At least I think it is. And I think you guys should pick up a copy of this because it would just be behoove of you to do that. What do you guys think? Is this spec worthy, or is my love for Tom Taylor and his Elseworlds tales clouding my judgment and I got blinders on and I'm just like, I gotta buy it. Guys, you guys tell me down in the comments below, but I do think that Thing number 1 is worthy of getting a couple extra copies of that book because there are 2 first appearances. And guys, Fantastic Four is coming to the MCU. It's only a matter of time, and maybe one of these characters could show up in that movie. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you guys smash that like button. And if you guys are not subscribed, get yourself subscribed. Hit that bell for notifications. And guys, leave a comment down below. Is the spec that I spoke about in today's video hot garbage? Or is it amazing specting that you're so happy that I brought to your eyes and ears? Guys, let me know down in the comments. Alright guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.